Hello, art clubbers, and welcome to our very last art club of the year. It has been so different doing this through videos and not being able to be with you guys in the classroom and being able to help you do your art and seeing the wonderful art that you guys have been creating. I know it's been a little bit weird for you guys also to be doing school at home, missing your friends and missing school, but you guys are almost done. I'm so proud of you. I hope that you guys can keep drawing and painting throughout the summer. Feel free to send me pictures or videos. Would love to see what you guys are doing. So we have talked about the 4 artists from the Renaissance who are the namesakes for the Ninja Turtles. We've talked about Leonardo da Vinci. Remember him? That's Leonardo who did the Mona Lisa and did the Vitruvian Man, the Last Supper, and a lot of inventions as well, remember? Did a lot of sketches of lots of different inventions. He was a very big part of history, and things that we use today are because of him as well. We learned about Michelangelo. Remember him? He did David, and he painted the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Huge ceiling of the Sistine Chapel. Then you have Raphael. Also Michelangelo, I almost forgot. Michelangelo also did, and one of his was the creation of Adam, where you have the very famous hands of God and Adam. Then we learned about Raphael, very young artist who did paintings like the School of Athens, and he did all of the Pope's paintings, remember? All around the churches and the chapels, including our very famous little cherubs in the Sistine Chapel walls. And he did a lot of paintings with Christ and with Madonna and baby. A lot of different places. And lastly, we learned about Donatello, who was in the early Renaissance, but still one of the first ones to make sculptures with movement and that looked realistic and not so stiff like the Thinker and David and Goliath. So I've got something kind of funny that I found, that if the Ninja Turtles were painted like their namesakes, famous pieces. Let's see if you guys can figure out who it is. So, who's that one? Remember the Vitruvian Man? That would be Leonardo. This one, Donatello. Just like Donatello's David and Goliath, right there. And, let's see if I can show you the Vitruvian Man. Is right here. Oops, there we go. Pretty funny. And Raphael. His is a little bit different, the one that I found. He did one like the portrait of Bindo Altoviti, right down there, or Raphael. And lastly, we have Michelangelo, and of course, Michelangelo is done like the David. So I thought that was pretty funny. So I hope you guys enjoyed those. And our very last project for Art Club is we're going to design or create our own animal superhero. Just like you guys have been superheroes throughout all this quarantine, and teachers have been superheroes, and parents and grandparents and nurses and doctors and postal workers and so many different people have really stepped up and been heroes during all of this epidemic. So I want us to create a superhero from your imagination. Like I said, it could be, I was going to do an animal superhero, but you guys can make any type of superhero that you like. So when you make an animal to have like different human type of abilities, it's called personification. That means that you are making an animal or something that's inanimate, means that it doesn't move, to have human-like abilities or qualities. All right? So let's see, think about what you guys want to create. I'm going to draw one for you. I was thinking I kind of wanted to do a pig that was a superhero. So I'm going to get started with that. I'm going to get started with my sketchbook and draw it on there for you. And then I can pass it on to my watercolor paper and paint it, or I can color it with different colored pencils or markers, whichever you guys like. All right, so grab your stuff and let's get started. All right, guys, so I have my sketchbook and I have a pencil and an eraser, and I'm going to start drawing my pig hero. So first thing I want to do is I'm actually going to make my pig stand up on 2 feet, kind of like a human would. So first I'm going to start with his head, and I'm going, whoops, too much lead. There we go. So I'm going to start with an oval for his head. That sounds about right. I'm going to give him his little piggy ears, kind of like this. And I think one might be a little bit of a floppy ear. There we go. We're going to kind of bend it a little bit. Nah, I don't think I like that. I'm going to erase it. And I'm going to give him a straight up ear. See, sometimes I look at something and I change my mind. And that's why I'm sketching it first. There we go. That's better. And then I'm going to make his big old snout, which is another oval, in his nostrils. And mine is going to be wearing a mask over his eyes so that he can hide his identity and nobody knows that he's a piggy. So he's going to be like this. And then his little ties are going to go right here for his mask. There we go. And he's just going to have kind of a little smirky smile right there. Ta-da! Now, I'm going to make his body. And he's probably going to have a pretty simple body. And make his little hooves right there. And that right there, his other arm. There we go. And then I'm going to do his body. Doo-doo-doo-doo. I think he's going to have a belt. He definitely needs to have a belt. It's also going to be tied. So he's going to have his little sashes from his belt coming out as well. There we go. And then his legs are gonna be right here. And I think he's gonna have a P and a P, because I just thought about his name is going to be Power Pig. Power Pig. And I think my superhero needs a cape. So I'm going to make a big old cape for him. It's going to come like this, and like this, and around like that. And he's going to tie it right at the front right here. He has a lot of ties, my little Power Pig. There we go. That's my Power Pig superhero. And then once I'm done with him, I can outline him in Sharpie. I can use my carbon paper and pass it over to my watercolor paper, or I can draw it, whichever sounds like fun. You can also use this and then actually transfer it to different paper, so that you can do one with watercolors and one with pencils, one with markers, however you like. And if you guys don't still have your carbon paper, remember you can look at the trick that I showed you, where you would color with pencil on the back of the paper. Do you remember this trick? Where you turn it over and you find the line and you scratch, scratch behind it, and then put it on top of whatever paper you want to transfer it to, and then you outline it and trace it, and then when you lift up, it transfers the picture. So even if you don't have carbon paper, you can do it using that trick. And that way, you don't have to erase so many times on your special paper or on a canvas. So I'm going to outline it so that I know what my lines are and I don't have all the sketch lines. Doop. Doop. Can't forget all his ties and his big old head with his masks. Do. Whoop. And his eyes right here. And his ears. Power Pig. And then what I can do is I can actually erase all of my sketch lines if you want to. It depends if you're going to transfer it to another piece of paper or not. I think I am going to use markers. for my piggy. And I've got some of my favorite markers here that I've had for a very long time. And they're called Prismacolors. And they have two different types of tips, which I love. They have a flat big tip, and they have a little thin lip tip. And they're really special markers. I like these. So I think I need to pick like, let's see what this color is like. A little pinkish color. Yeah, I think that'll be good for the piggy. Whoops. Doo-doo-doo-doo. There we go. And you guys can put a super suit on your piggy if you want to, or your animal. I'm just going to leave him like that. And then let's see, what color should his belt be? How about green? I'm thinking green for his super belt. Gonna be more of a gold color. And there we go. That's my superhero pig. So you guys can do any superhero you want, any animal you want, or even just a regular person. All right, but have fun with it. The last thing I want to do is, I haven't read you guys a book in a while, and I know usually at school I would have read you one every other week. So I wanted to read you one from my favorite series of art books. We've read this one last year. Remember, If Picasso Painted a Snowman. And today I'm going to read you If Da Vinci Painted a Dinosaur. And I love these books because it really reminds you that everybody has a different style. And art can be so many different things, and you don't have to be, and you probably won't be, the same as somebody else's art style. You're just going to have your own and be unique. So, If Da Vinci Painted a Dinosaur, written by Amy Newbold, and the pictures are by Greg Newbold. If you do a dinosaur, you might start with an oval body, then add a head and 4 legs. You could draw triangles down its back and add a spiky tail. But if Leonardo da Vinci drew a dinosaur, it might look like this. There is more than one way to draw or paint a dinosaur. You guys realize what this one's like? The Vitruvian Man? Very good. Edgar Degas draws a pastel dancers turning playful pirouettes. Degas is known for his ballerina pictures. Cassius Coolidge creates a Cretaceous card game. Do you see dinosaurs surfing Katsushika Hokusai's giant wave? Dinosaurs stopped to smell the flowers in Mary Cassatt's garden and graze in Grandma Moses' green valley. Parrots play peekaboo in Frida Kahlo's portrait. If you guys did art last year, you remember we did Frida Kahlo, and she used to love to paint herself with lots of animals. Ki Baishi's dinosaur washes through inky bamboo. Snippety snip, the paper dinosaurs of Henri Matisse tumble across a wall. Again, we did Henri Matisse last year with all his colorful cutouts. Oh, we did this one this year. Stomp, stomp, stamp. 3-toed tracks around Andy Warhol's dinosaur soup. How many dinosaurs hide in Diego Rivera's lilies? Oh, this one's tricky. I don't know if you guys remember, but Diego Rivera was Frida Kahlo's husband, who was also an artist. Franz Marc paints a herd of brilliant blue. Dinosaurs leap and play in a painting by Harrison Begay, while Alma Thomas's creatures swirl in a kaleidoscope of color. A Jurassic jazz band makes the dinosaurs of Aaron Douglas swing. Who basks under Mark Rothko's prehistoric sun? With triangles and squares, Lois Malou Jones shapes her ceratopsian mask. Dinosaurs roam Marguerite Zorach's curving landscape. Boom, crash, crunk! Here comes a dinosaur by Edvard Munch. If a dinosaur sat for a portrait by Leonardo da Vinci, it would be Dino Lisa, just like the Mona Lisa. How will you paint your dinosaur? I wonder what kind of style you would use for your dinosaur. All right, I've got one more because why not? If Monet painted a monster. Let's see how many different styles of monsters and how many artists you recognize in this book. If you painted a monster, it might have 3 glowing eyes or sharp, pointy teeth. Your monster might hide under the bed or have big, furry feet. Artists paint monsters in many ways. Edward Hopper's monster lurks in the shadows, watching diners eat a late-night snack. In the gathering gloom, James Whistler's monster waits in her creaking chair. She is watching, watching, watching as the fog rolls in. Flames cast spooky shadows on the wall as Dorothea Tanning's monster takes a midnight stroll. Spidery giants tiptoe through Paul Cézanne's countryside. Oh, you might recognize this next one. M.C. Escher's creatures creep up and down, around and around. Remember the tessellations we did earlier this year? Rattle, rattle, shriek. Jean-Michel Basquiat's monster howls at sunset. Roar. Ooh, Giuseppe Arcimboldo's monster is ready for a costume party, festooned in his vegetable disguise. This is a fun artist. All of his paintings are all made up of vegetables. It's really cool. How many specters does Rene Magritte's Invisible Man reveal? Ooh, do you see that? It's all made up of different monsters. Henry Rousseau's creatures hunt slithering snakes in the jungle. With bold slashing strokes, Franz Klein's monsters leave his mark. Would you play with Frida Kahlo's little monster? She brought you a mask. Ooh, there's another Frida Kahlo. Skittering, screeching, twisting, and tumbling, Robert Thompson's monsters circle and stomp through the forest. What is clacking up the hill toward Thomas Hart Benton's ramshackle house? Flicking their wrists and kicking their heels, the monsters of Henry de Toulouse-Lautrec perform their dance macabre. Ooh. Here is Helen Frankenthaler's Frankenstein. Some assembly is required. And if Claude Monet painted a monster, it would emerge from the misty water lilies like this. Do you remember Monet all the way from the beginning of this year? What will your monster look like? Well, there you go, guys. That is the end of session 4 of Art Club and the end of this year's Art Club. I hope you guys had fun and I hope you keep drawing. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful summer. And I look forward to seeing you guys soon. All right. Bye.